It's time for Access the Experts from the University of Nebraska at Omaha with your host, Brandon Axamit.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Access the Experts on News Channel Nebraska, where every Tuesday and Thursday, University of Nebraska at Omaha faculty members answer today's questions facing our state. Now today we are continuing our conversation from earlier this week with Dr. Craig Maher, who is the director for UNO's School of Public Administration. On Tuesday we discussed the role property valuations play in property tax, and today we are shifting our focus to the relationship between property tax and public education. So Craig, here is today's question. Is Nebraska's reliance on property tax to fund K through 12 schools unique, or is this how other states also fund public education?
A fascinating question, and it's one that I have been asked on several occasions to speak to the legislature about, and one that I have been paying pretty close attention to since I came here about 7 years ago. I would say that when it comes to funding and school education in Nebraska, we're unique or different in two aspects. The first is the wording of our Constitution. So if you look at Nebraska's Constitution in relation to K-12 education, it simply says that the legislature shall provide for the free instruction in the common schools in the state. That's a pretty general statement that provides a legislature with a lot of flexibility. Compare that to my home state, Wisconsin, that says that the Constitution says that the legislature shall provide by law for the establishment of district schools, which shall be nearly as uniform as practicable. That uniformity clause has been at the crux of multiple cases that have gone all the way to the state Supreme Court. We don't see that in Nebraska because of the constitutional language. The second is the heavily reliance on local funding. Nebraska by far relies much more on local funding, which means property taxes, than you find in other states. And we're seeing that play out in the state legislature, where there is this debate about trying to bring down property taxes, and school funding is always part of that conversation because you can't do one without the other. And these are going to be debates that I think we'll continue to see and hear about, because there is no easy solution.
Well, thank you once again, Craig, for sharing your expertise on property tax, and congratulations for being our first expert to make back-to-back appearances. Your time is greatly appreciated. Well, for our viewers at home, do not forget that Access the Experts airs every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. only on News Channel Nebraska. And lastly, do not forget, if you have a question you want answered, go to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the Access the Experts link to submit your question. It may just be answered by a UNO expert on an upcoming edition. Again, I'm Brandon Axamit here on News Channel Nebraska, and we are looking forward to catching you next time on Access the Experts. Don't forget, every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:46 a.m. and p.m.
Access the Experts, presented by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. If you have questions, submit them on our website. Then join us every Tuesday and Thursdays at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. while we answer your questions.